What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Swolecast. How the Swolecast got their swing back, I think, is the title. Because
David, it made us late, and we're back in the swing of things.
I don't make the titles. I just read them. Welcome, Tuttle, Davis, Mattek, Pete Overzet. Boys, we got golf. Everybody's sweating their lineups. Davis.
Some of us have already stopped sweating.
Okay, because people are tilting Rory right now. They just go ahead and tell people what's happening. Why are people upset?
I mean, Rory, like once every 10 events, you're just going to get this from him where he starts tilting it off at the very beginning, and he's just no longer interested in playing good golf, and you have to accept it, and we move on, and we move, right? We can let the Spieth people, we can let the Poulter people, we can let the Patrick Reed people, we can let them have their week. We know that we will we're earning the Sklansky bucks this week, basically.
Well, you had that
trash too.
You had that tweet about Webb Simpson's ownership and being like everyone's too sharp now to go back to the well, but we had this all transpire during football season. We'd have these guys.
Yeah, Will Fuller. We also had the Diggs week where he went off for like 45 DraftKings points. It was like 4% owned the next week. Like Davis, it's changed, man. It's over.
Yeah,
the game done changed.
Here's the thing: golf isn't as predictable.
Yeah.
So eating that chalk is still absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry was never chalk. That's what made him so special.
There we go.
Oh,
good
here
stuff.
we go. Now we're back in the swing of things.
As far as like on DraftKings, can you hide your lineups like from the default view?
No, it's what you have to do. What you have to do when you have bad lineups is you use the sport filter. That's how. It's a nightmare on the app though. It's because having like 400 dead golf lineups really slows down those loading times.
And that's why I say, like, for me, people that sweat golf lineups, because a lot of people are sweating them every single day. And if you're just dead upon arrival, then you have to just remind yourself, especially like when major sports are going on, like you have to remind yourself every day that your lineups just were terrible. And you have to get by them.
So are you guys saying in your ideal DraftKings UI experience that
you literally can surrender,
that you can just give up or X out lineups that you don't have to see?
Yeah. You can have like, this is like, there's a lot of tech that would be involved in this, but that you could like set your own settings for both like the lobby and your lineups page, and like have those settings saved every time you come back, because that's how like FanDuel used to be. And like one of my theories for why I was more profitable on FanDuel than DraftKings
is because everyone who plays on FanDuel is donkeys.
Well, yes, which you not playing on FanDuel as it was like so profitable is like people not investing in the stock market right now, right?
Don't fight the Fed and don't fight the FanDuel donkeys.
But you used to be able where like you could set your settings to where like you couldn't see over like 200. So like anything basically 109 and below I could see, but I could never see like the big tournaments unless I adjusted the slider. That was helpful for me.
You still can have those settings on DraftKings.
I realize that, but you still have to do it every time you go to the page. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's like a modified self-exclude kind of thing where you cannot see the big tournaments.
Well, that I'll say definitively as a DraftKings stockholder, I'm not interested in you having the ability to exercise that option.
Davis shoehorning in stocks, Dave shoehorning in Derrick Henry references. I mean,
we're back. We're back.
Wait, Davis, did you sell off some of your DK stock with all the other insiders?
With all the Class A, no selling. We don't sell.
Okay, that wasn't a canary in a coal mine for you.
All right. We have some. Speaking of the golf stuff, though, we've got some swings. Davis, you provided a swing. Peters, you provided a swing. I think that's what they call it.
Pete
right?
Swing
provided a bomb, Dave.
Yeah, Pete Swing. Now, granted, there's no actually ball involved, but it looks nice. Like my swing is so rigid, like it's not good at all. But Pete's looks nice.
I didn't head to the driving range to commit to my bid. I mean, I guess I should have just line drived a golf ball into my neighbor's house just so you could. Well,
I was just at the range anyway.
Were you at the range when we were talking about that? Did you record that on the spot?
No, I had it. I'd had it from the day before.
You said that to your girlfriend? Who are you sending that to?
No, because I'm trying to work on the interlocking grip. So I just am taking videos of myself just to see how it's going. Not well is the answer.
And why was Tuttle unwilling to make himself vulnerable and record a swing for us?
I didn't even know that there is such a thing as an interlocking grip.
Really? I do the pinky.
Yeah, well, you do it like this.
I mean, I didn't know there was not an interlocking grip.
Davis goes like
this.
What
do you do? You just go like
and
this?
And then he wraps his hand
like a baseball?
Baseball.
Yeah. Wait, that's a thing?
You've never heard about? Even I've heard about the interlocking grip.
He's saying the opposite.
Yeah, I'm saying I didn't know you could just hold it like a baseball.
Oh, yeah. I'm a baseball guy.
Wait, so have these rolled on the screen yet?
All right. So first we have Davis's swing, and Tuttle, you said it was too rigid as your expert.
As my non-professional.
It's very, very rigid. It's just.
I think the difference between yours and we'll see Peter's later is Pete's just athletic.
Yeah.
Like
Pete gets some big time hip flexion that I do not have at all. And you're not supposed to bend your left arm like me.
Yeah, Davis would definitely beat me in a round of golf though. But I want to see this Davis swing here.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing with Peter and I. It's always going to look good just because of the athletic stuff. But like when it comes to actually like hitting the ball and that sort of thing, it's not going to be as good. So even though your swing doesn't look that great, Davis, it's going to perform better, basically.
I shot an 82 this last Sunday, best round I've ever had.
Go. When I pulled up that picture of you in 2015, what did you say? Like it was like a hockey shot as you were driving the golf ball. Like, is that when you first started golfing?
Yeah, that would have been right after I graduated college, which is like the day after I graduated college. I went and bought clubs, and I was like, I need a hobby now, so I'm going to start golfing. You
see that? I remember because you were doing it while you were working 12 hours a day for Fantasy Insiders.
Working. FantasyInsiders.com. Good plug, everybody.
Davis had the work from home before before anyone else did, basically. He's like, sorry guys, I'm gonna be unavailable. I'm at the golf course.
It's a nice life. Tuttle, when was the last time you played golf?
Oh man.
Was it when you and I played together?
No, I tried to get into it a little after that. So literally the first time I had gone golfing since high school was we were in San Diego for an NFL final. What was this, like 2000? I think
2016 DK maybe.
Was that the tires? Is that the tires episode?
Tires episode?
Where Crane fell doing the tires?
No. That was a FanDuel. This was a DraftKings one.
Okay.
So this one, I somehow, Brandon Adams and CSU, and we're like, hey, you guys want to go play par 3 golf course or something? And I didn't know these guys were like good. And I hadn't played since high school. It was a fun trip, though. It was fun. Did CSU try to con you into some bets
hustle?
There? Yeah. No, him and Brandon Adams had a lot of side action going on. He did. Yeah. He knew better than to.
I got paid out because I was the only one that made a birdie. Just want to throw that out there.
Wait, in Kitchen, didn't you do a golf round with wasn't there like a RotoGrinders golf outing that you did?
Not a chance. Not a chance. David golfed.
Yeah, we picked teams, and I was on Noto's team and SBK's team, and about the second, it was best ball, but about the second or third hole, we realized it was going to be not our day, so we just had fun with it.
Producer Devin wants me to ask which team won.
Producer Devin, sneakily athletic, like better than Davis, I would say.
More athletic or better at golf?
Oh, well, more athletic is kind of a given, but
it's not really that hard. It's not really that hard.
Devin's got that cross country background, and he bikes to work, I believe. I mean, he's got it going.
Yeah. Fun fact: Devin went through a windshield a couple years ago, like biking
to work. Yeah.
Like that guy. And he still gets on the bike. He did, there's like a bunch
did he
of
did he come into work that day to finish the video broadcasting?
I can't remember if he did or not. I just remember him showing us. No, I think he went to the hospital, but he like showed us pictures of like the windshield and everything else, and it was a pretty gnarly bike accident. All right, as far as Pete's swing. Are we just like giving it like, Pete, what's the furthest you can drive a golf ball?
I'm probably like 250.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's like 1 out of 10 times when it goes the direction you want it to, or 50% of the time.
I would
top
say
level of Top Golf with the wind blowing out.
I'd say
no. I believe he can hit it that far.
I think 4 drives. I'm like a 25% hit rate of like one of them being a nice ball. Couple slices,
Pete Overzet.
throwing a shank in.
Do you slice or do you top it?
I slice. Yeah. The my thing that stinks for me, it's like if I consciously am trying to kill the ball, or if I just do the softest swing possible, it still goes the same distance. Like there's just no
Peter
difference.
Overzet. I hit
as
bombs
hard as I try.
Yeah, you're supposed
because
to
it's
not
all
try to kill the ball.
I know,
it's I mean, the reason that would be true for you is that you are actually able to get back around, but like a lot of people are not able to rotate their hips like that because they're so stiff just from being out of shape.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like from even doing like boxing, if you do baseball, like every single one of those sports has that same hip movement.
That hip flexion. Yeah.
Like, so once you drill it a little bit, it's a little easier to transfer it over, but it's not. Go ahead.
I've got terrible hips.
Not
terrible.
You. No way. I don't believe it.
You told me that your hips don't lie.
They don't. They're bad. they're too honest, basically. But like I fully realize that hips have a lot to do also with like leg injuries, and I think that's why I've had such a like series of leg injuries because I haven't focused on my hips.
You ever done yoga, Kitch?
I told y'all that whenever the wife and kids went out of town, I did a yoga sesh.
With little boys that walk to your house. Soliciting.
Don't start that.
Would you be embarrassed for your wife to see you doing yoga?
No, we like my wife is
my wife
past the point of embarrassment, right? Like she knows me. Like I would be embarrassed if it was like someone who I respected, that I was like industry. Trying to maintain like a profesh appearance. So obviously no one on this show, but like you guys are like kind of like my wife. You've seen me behind the scenes, and nothing's going to embarrass me with you guys.
See, I thought I wouldn't be embarrassed. And then Lauren made a comment. This was about like 6 months ago. And she's like, I saw you doing yoga and it seems like you're trying really hard. And it was just like the meanest thing she could ever say to me. And I'm in my head about it every single time now. I'm just, am I trying too hard?
With the golf, with the yoga, with everything.
And then she also told me that she can't picture me meditating, and I was like, okay, what does that mean? So she's coming after me.
When I started working out again a couple years ago, I asked Kali, I was like, "Are you worried that I'm going to get like too sexy?" And I said,
not a real worry, huh?
I said, on a scale of like 1 to 10, what would you want my sexiness to be? And she said like a 6 or something like that, or 6.5. And I was like, what am I right now?
You're L King, David.
Yeah, once you readjusted where the scale was. So do you think, is that coming from a place that she's worried you would be too desirable to other women?
I think that's what's like my questioning was with her. Like, yeah. Which, I mean, the dad bod in itself, it just depends on the woman, but the dad bod also. So, I mean, isn't
the dad bod phenomenon just like evolutionary biology, where like people are just so fat and gross now that like it's we've had to do something societally to be like, this has to be considered acceptable, or there will just be no attractive mates at all?
I think it's societal, but I don't think it's like scientific biology. I think it's just like
scientific biology. You love to hear it from David Kitchen.
Like whatever you said it was. What'd you say it was?
Evolutionary biology.
All right. Evolutionary biology, because like we go through phases and people have different preferences.
Well, there's no phase, right? The American weight is it's a trend line, right? There's no dips. It's going in one direction.
It looks
but
like
David, you look at
fad diets.
You look at like the old school like princess queen type things. Like it was desirable to be like,
like 800
bigger.
years ago in feudal Europe, for sure. Yeah. Let's say since the Industrial Revolution.
And there are also cultural differences where people like different things. Like I don't think it's like evolutionary biology with that. I think it's just preference.
I'm just waiting for Kitchen to say he would have been the most attractive man on the planet in 1345.
You put that wig on me, there is no chance. No chance for anyone else. All right. Speaking of no chance, Major League Baseball, no chance of playing. Yes or no, Tuttle?
We'll play.
You think? Like you're that confident?
I mean, it's been not proven, but it's pretty much just hardball, right? Like they have to play the 50 games, or the owners could void the CBA or something like that. I'm not fully detailed, but I'm pretty sure that's the case.
I think so. I think that all this tell us when and where stuff though is like a legal counteract to that, in which these guys are saying in a court of law they would be able to argue that actually they negotiated in good faith and the owners were negotiating in bad faith, and so therefore the CBA has to be upheld.
I can't imagine that holding up in court, but it is brilliant marketing. That's like a perfect message.
And it was consistent too with all the players too.
Yeah.
But the MLB owners did counter with a better offer, I guess, yesterday.
Neither side can even like people are saying, well, no, it wasn't an offer. Yes, it was. Like people can't even like understand if an offer was made or by who.
No, it was because Boris leaked to Heyman that it was an agreement. So yes, nobody's disputing that there was an offer made. It's just that it was leaked that it was agreed upon, which it was not.
Right.
The thing that's frustrating to me is you got a bunch of jabronis like us just tossing out conjecture. I really wish in the DFS space there was someone kind of with like a dual skill set that maybe
like
had
a law degree maybe.
Yeah. Someone who could really speak on it in a way that we understand would be nice, you know?
Yeah, I completely agree, Pete. It's just like at these times we really need expert opinions more than ever, I think.
All right.
Someone to read through the contract for us, because we don't know how to read that stuff.
Speaking of expert opinions, I saw on Twitter this guy is the only doctor that gives his own second opinions.
What?
Dr. Fauci.
What's
now saying that NFL season is in jeopardy, that we might not have an NFL season. Legit or bit, Davis?
It is legit that he thinks that. It's a bit that he thinks the current administration is going to listen to anything he says, and it's a bit that the NFL won't play. If they have to round these dudes up, like go take all the coaches and trainers and everything, take them to an island to play the games, they will do it. There is it's got to be like 5% that the NFL doesn't play. There are already states making it illegal to wear masks. Not a bit. That's legit. That's happening.
All right, what state?
Nebraska. There's legislation
to wear a mask. That seems.
There is legislation. There is legislation proposed that businesses
so it's just a proposal by some rando.
There is a proposal put forth by the governor that if a business requires patrons to wear masks, they will not be getting any of the government relief funds. They will not get any of the bailout government assistance money inside the state. Do you understand how insane that is? Do you understand how absolutely, completely insane that is? It's mind-bending. We're dumbest country on earth.
The funny thing about the Fauci is I was actually listening to something about this the other day because, they stopped doing the White House coronavirus press briefing. It's been like 45 days since they did one. And apparently Fauci has to get all of his media interviews okayed by the White House before he can do that. So I just imagine him like going to Mr. Trump being like, hey man, you sign off on me telling everyone that football's not going to happen in the fall. And then he's just like too busy or something and he lets him get away with it. But can you imagine having to run by that every time to get permission?
Oh, yeah. It makes me like the first instinct I had was to be like mad at Fauci. Like
he's
that
doing
was
a
the
good
first
job at that.
He's just doing his job, but obviously no one wants to hear what he has to say.
Well, the whole thing was like I don't know. It just seems like we get conflicting info.
I'm the reverse. My first instinct was like, all right, let's hear what this guy has to say. We got to follow this strictly. And now I'm just like, what the hell, man? Just let it go. Just stop.
Yeah, right.
Let us have football.
That's kind of what I'm saying is that let's just face it. If we don't have football, we're screwed. Like we're so screwed as ourselves, our country, our industry. I mean, we've seen it. It's gonna get ugly.
I mean, I would make it
thought leader for esports as like a legit thing.
I mean, I would make it like minus 500. The NFL season happens.
So here's my thing. I think the season is going to happen. I think the NFL is going to do everything in its power to make it happen. What happens though? Let's say the Tampa Bay Bucks. What happens when half their skill position players get it? Like, are they forfeiting that game? Like, how
they become the Patriots?
I saw a proposal yesterday of like expanding practice squads to like 20 dudes, so that you can just call guys up randomly. So there might just be like a lot of guys who were showcasing in the XFL might actually have jobs this year.
Yeah, so that's
because if someone tests positive, they're going to be like quarantined for 14 days. I mean, it could be like 2 games, even if they're not symptomatic.
And this is the thing. Imagine how much people complain about a Thursday night football game being a poor product. What happens when we're getting like Mike Glennon versus Kyle Allen because Tom Brady has coronavirus? Like what are people are we still gonna
let me tell you this, if Tom Brady gets coronavirus, no one's ever gonna know about it. I mean, Brady's not missing any games.
We still have DFS, like from like a product standpoint. Yes, we still have DFS. Yeah. I find it funny that the guy proposing that question was the former XFL thought leader.
Yeah. And this is actually a good rebuttal to your point of saying, how do we get by if we don't have NFL? I mean, here's Exhibit A and Exhibit B.
Well, only cucks like Zeke will get it anyway.
And I saw basically with all the Zeke stuff, it was just Dak memes of like, because he threw a party with Zeke and Yeah, and so it was just memes that have to do with Dak.
I love all the Galaxy Brain takes about that for fantasy, where you have some people being like, oh, this is bad. Like, what if he has lingering respiratory issues? And then you have the people like, no, this is good. Now he's immune. He's the one that's safe. I'm actually bumping him up to my RB2.
Yeah, because
he will for sure not miss a game this year because of...
Get it out of your system. I say we give them all coronavirus right now. Herd immunity within the NFL. Then we're good to go.
Boom. That's the
like,
there.
That's going to be like next level thinking by Bill Belichick. Like, instead of like 2 weeks of preseason training, it's going to be just like 2 weeks of herd immunity, basically.
Right. I normally imagine that Belichick does like some kind of bloodletting ceremony with all his players, but this year it's just infecting them with COVID.
Right. So the unofficial start of the fantasy football season is coming upon us, and that is the Scott Fish Bowl 10, SFBX. Peter, did you request a division?
No. So this was my thought, because Scott sent around a thing where you could request your draft slot and your division. And I was more interested in my draft slot than division. So I left no preference for division and then requested, I think, slot 3, thinking everyone's going to request 1 and 2. Maybe I'll have a better chance. So I went game theory for that. But I know you were too distracted by Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and selected that, correct?
Yes. Yeah, because that was my favorite. Like, growing up was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Just saw Donatello and
you just love to see it.
Just jumped in.
Okay. This is what I was gonna like. If the 4 of us were Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I think Tuttle, you'd be Donatello.
What like I actually don't even know. Is he purple?
Purple. He's the kind of cerebral one, right? He's the smart one. Davis, you would be Raphael. Raphael was he was a little bit rebellious. Like, he was the rebel of the group. I think you'd be Raphael, and I think Peter obviously would be Michelangelo.
Did Raphael smoke weed?
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
and smoke weed. Yeah.
Didn't they make like an adult like live action one for all the kids who grew up watching it in the 80s though?
Live action. Yeah, there was a live action 1, 2, and 3 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I will say all these remakes have been terrible for Ninja Turtles. Like, they've all been bad.
People are still like, kids are still in it. Obviously I have 3 girls, so none of mine, but people are still in it. Did you have a favorite turtle, Peter or Tuttle?
I was a Donatello guy.
What?
I didn't have one.
Donatello is so off-brand for you, Peter.
Yeah, well, I'm a different person than I am now. Maybe if I rewatched it, I would, connect with different characters, Dave.
So
you would want to be Leonardo. He's the leader of the bunch.
Oh, is that what you gave yourself?
I mean, that's just the last one that's left.
Ninja Turtle arcade game, much better than the show.
Oh, I love Ninja Turtle arcade game.
What was the thing you said about your division? The guy who was actually the voice is in that division.
One of the guys because if people get really hyped about Scott Fish Bowl and we should just go ahead and say Scott Fish is the best dude in the industry. I mean, he has created this from scratch. Now Ryan McDowell, some of these other guys put so much time into it, and all the proceeds benefit Toys for Tots and local organizations like that around Christmas time. So it's definitely has a charitable, it's all about the charity, and they do it out of the goodness of their heart. And as far as like people someone already created a private Twitter group for our division. And this happened to me last year too. And it's like more than I can keep up with, but I did notice that one of the guys is the brother of the Michelangelo.
Kitchen just loves to be like, it's more than I can keep up with, like acting like this dude doesn't have like infinity scroll time in his life. Like when Kitchen, bro.
I don't have infinity scroll
Kitchen,
time.
bro, you scroll.
I don't have infinity scroll time.
The biggest upset here is he didn't call him his buddy. My good friend.
Listen, dude. Tuttle has 9 kids and a job, and he still will respond to ats and Slack. Like, I don't believe that you are so busy that I can't keep up with this thread that I'm in my DMs.
Slack is different
I respect
than
Kitchen
Twitter thread.
I respect Kitchen because he just mutes it because he doesn't want to have it distract him. I respect that.
I mean, I respect it, but I don't believe it. It's basically what I'm saying.
And it's because, Davis,
you do the tomato technique.
You and I live 2 totally different lives. If I didn't have any kids and all I had to do was 1 show a day, yes,
that's all I do. 1 show a day. That's it.
Like, I would have so much scroll time, whatever. But some things have to take a back seat. When I was doing, like, when I'm on my walks or working out, I'll scroll in between. Yeah,
light cardio day.
What's
Kitchen?
cardio
Do you have a light cardio day?
Every day is light cardio day.
I'm still trying to recover from Davis's burn. You scroll, bro. You scroll.
I mean, it's just such a lie for anyone to be like, dude, no, I can't even keep up with it. Like, I don't believe it. I don't buy it.
I will say, like, again, in both Tuttle and Dave's defense, every time like I feel busy, I take that moment to realize like I can't even imagine what it's like to have a child. Because every time like I have it so easy. I don't know how you guys do it. I legitimately am very impressed. I don't know how you do it.
That's why I like the Corona stuff. Like people are on like total opposites. Like during the months of April and May, we're just trying to survive. My wife is working from home. I'm working from home. Our oldest is like doing online kindergarten, and we're just trying to survive. All those preconceived notions and rules about screen time out the window. And it's just like, let's just get to the point where we can lay our heads on the pillow at night. Whereas some of my friends were like, I am so bored. I have watched every show out there. And it's like, it's just, people are handling everything in totally different manners. And it's like, it'll be an interesting scientific study after all this is done with.
Kids are going to be so messed up from all this, man. Like learning.
They might be.
Well, like think of how, first of all, we already know social interactions are like way whacked out because of how much people are interacting on their screens instead of in person. But now not only, I mean, kids basically have no social interaction and are doing all their learning via like tablets and stuff. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
There's going to be a generation of Davises coming up. They're going to be able to work while multi-tabling a few poker satellites at the same time.
All right. Legit or a bit. High schools banning Robinhood from their like if you're on the school's Wi-Fi or whatever, Robinhood gets banned.
You want to be a stock tout so bad. Like that's your number one goal in life is just talk stocks all day.
It's true. It's an easy life, but you gotta lie. I think the biggest thing of being a stock tout is you have to lie, which isn't great.
It's not too late to get into IDEX, Davis.
Is that the Randone call? I think Randone was shilling that one.
Oh no, I gotta get out then.
I'm almost positive.
What was he?
Yeah, it might be the top, Tuttle.
It's one of those cult ones recently. Oh yeah, 20 hours ago.
I told you.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta get out.
This reminds me of like when Davis has a take that I've already mentioned, and then he feels like he needs to do the opposite take.
Yeah, you got to get out on that.
I gotta get out. I know nothing about this. I read so I'm on his page now. He's giving props to the Twitter account dude that called it at Yates Investing, and all I know about this is basically he had a thread about it. Supposedly something to do with electronic cars, something to do with really prestigious management.
Is this like the peak of like retail investors? It's got to be, right? And everyone's going to get wiped out soon enough.
I was listening. I think it was the Wall Street Journal podcast this morning that was saying.
Oh wow!
I mean,
Tuttle is really in these,
bro.
He's really in these stock streets.
I like to.
He worked that in really well. Very nice.
But I think they were saying trading this month year over year from last year this month was 4 times the amount retail investing.
I mean, what about some of these dudes who have gotten, because Robinhood basically takes no responsibility for anything that anyone does on their platform. Well, so there's all these stories of guys putting in shorts and puts and being like, waking up and being like, oh, I'm $700,000 in debt.
That was my biggest takeaway is they had a guy on that they were interviewing, and it was a guy that was like, he put his life savings of 50 grand in it. And he's like, yeah, man, I put it all on Hertz. And then they doubled, and then I cashed out, and then I told my mom. And then at the end of the interview, they're like, so what do you have your money in now? He's like, well, now I have $150,000 in Tesla because 50,000 of it's in margin from Robinhood or whatever.
Oh, dude.
Well, Davis is going to hate this take, but I think you could probably attribute a lot of this to Portnoy, like doing of his live streams.
I don't hate it.
100%.
This is a legit take. Yeah.
I mean, his audience is, obviously that demographic, and then you take an app like Robinhood, and then you have them thinking like, hey, I could be Dave Portnoy just flipping stocks all day and get rich. And I mean, that's where you start to see all these like what 18-year-old kid has half of his net worth into Hertz. It's like, oh, he's been watching Portnoy videos.
Yeah, Davey Day Trader.
I wonder if Davis even has a Robinhood account now that Portnoy is shilling stocks. It's like usually Davis would be like opposite, like it would be taking a stand against stocks because Day Trader is. It's kind
of a pain to move your securities from one platform to the other.
Oh, here we go.
But Robinhood gets all their money from basically selling your information to big investment firms. So the fees are technically it's commission free, even though you're paying in a different way.
Well, this
is why I say that you're kind of the beta of Portnoy. Like you're like the beta version of Portnoy, basically. Both you guys in stocks, just like in different.
Imagine if Portnoy was doing this during the crypto shitcoin bull run.
Dude, he could have sent Dragon Ball chain to like a $1 billion market cap.
He literally
Crypto Kitty through the roof.
Yeah. One of those BitConnect schemes. It's like Barstool Connect and just shilling
Barstool coin.
Yeah.
They could have IPO'd for sure. Or ICO'd, I guess.
We'll get to Bit in a second for that stuff. But let's get back to Scott Fishbowl. The scoring settings, have you looked at them at all, Davis?
It's the 2018 settings, but with point per incompletion, right? And point per sack as well. Or point lost, negatives for those.
There's way more emphasis. It's a super flex, so you can play up to 2 quarterbacks. But you can also get in really dangerous territory for some of these quarterbacks because you have -1 per incompletion. And then if you throw an interception, it's -4. So
Rick Road might have actually finally been right about Jameis Winston had this scoring existed last year.
Well, remember, Davis, when you say you will never give him any attention and you on your own say his name on this show?
Well, this was too nice. It was too good.
It's a gathering of negativity. What's your take? Overzet, do you have a Fantasy Cares Eliminator League that you're in?
I have 2 of them, Dave, because my first one filled so fast.
Nice. Are you through any of them?
Yeah, I finished one of them.
So what's your take just on how things went with the draft?
So that one is a little different because there's no positional
8 positions, right?
So everyone just kind of hammers quarterbacks for the first few rounds and then it goes from there. But I like them. They're fun formats and it's easy to draft too when you're not having to worry about all the specific scoring settings. I think the thing for the Scott Fishbowl that's interesting is just I love how it messes with your brain because everyone's like, oh, super flex, draft these quarterbacks, but then you have to really get granular with how do these quarterbacks play
actually score.
Screw you.
Yeah.
What were they saying? Is that Josh Allen is just going to take such a hit in this scoring format?
Yeah.
And even like Kyler takes so many sacks too, right? Like he'll complete a ton of passes, but he'll probably take 2-3 sacks a game. So it's not great relative to other guys at the position.
I mean, Tannehill is going to be a top 5 quarterback.
I'll book that with you.
Good in that format.
But I do like the idea as we like introduce of like real life mimicking, helping to mimic like the fantasy game or fantasy mimicking real life. That's what I was trying to say. But like points per first down. It's a tough concept, but I like it because like a first down's way more important in real life. The same reason why I think if you're playing like defenses, like you should have turnover on downs, like be some sort of point for the team defense.
Yeah.
In DFS, a charge taken should be counted as a steal.
That's stupid.
The only thing
it's
I'll
not
say,
stupid. It's a turnover. It's just like a steal.
Well, yeah. Did you just say the one? I mean, you forgive me if you just said this one, but the one where if the defense scores a touchdown and then your defense loses points for that.
Yeah, that's dumb.
That's dumb. So stupid. The only thing that's hard is from a sweating perspective. If you're sweating the Scott Fishbowl stuff, like we're also conditioned with DraftKings PPR. Like that's how we're viewing everything. I don't find myself being like, oh wow, we got a first down. Let me get that. Because it's generally the only league that I have that has those scoring settings. So it'd be cool though if that became like
they should add that. They should add that to DK scoring actually.
More points.
More sweats, yeah.
All right, well, just get ready because Scott Fishbowl is coming to your timelines. The beginning of July, it's going to be nothing but Scott Fishbowl. Shout out to Josh ADHD. He always has a nice little Scott Fishbowl app that will be on RotoGrinders. And also, if you want to join in the Scott Fishbowl Menace, they do have the satellite leagues. So it's a good like kind of first step for those that kind of want to get in on the action. scottfishbowl.com. All right, legit or bit? I don't even know like what the first legit or bit is going to be on here. I think we've like discussed a bunch of them. Peter, do you have a legit or bit question?
Oh, geez. Off the top of my head, really putting the screws in here. Let's see. I'll go legit or bit. I saw an Ian Hardix.
I was setting you up because you did have a legit or bit question in the chat.
Oh, wait, the one I asked about your workout?
Yeah.
Okay. So Kitchen yesterday told us that he had a back/buy sesh, workout sesh. And I had to float the question if that's legit or a bit. And if it is legit, I'm going to need you to let me know what exercises fall under each of those umbrellas.
All right.
You gotta be careful. Buy sesh means different thing.
I haven't gone there yet.
You need.
I was waiting for someone to do it.
Biceps. Yeah, it's just a basic chest and tries, back and buys, right? Like your typical 2-day thing.
Your typical, you do the shoulders and you lift and there's the weights and yeah. What about some specific exercises?
Okay, well, here I'm getting to it. I'm not a guy who has to work out for like an hour, obviously, right? Right? Just go to failure. Just go to failure.
Just go to failure.
Machine.
Oh,
he's my wife told me she wants me to be a 6, so I give about a 6 in the gym.
Right. And this is the first time I've ever been to Planet Fitness, and so
oh gosh.
You're like there are not a lot of like free weights in there because they don't want to like intimidate. You can't wear like Peter shirts. You can't drink out of like Evan Silva's water jugs. You can't bring like water jugs in there. You can't grunt. Like these are the rules you signed up for.
The lunk alarm, bro.
Yeah, so it's like they don't want to make it intimidating at all, which for me obviously is obviously something I have to look out for. But when you go to a new gym for the first time, it's awkward, right? Because like you're just like looking at some of the different machines, trying to figure out how the seats work. basically where they are located, what they have available.
Dave, you're not making your case when you're like, I walked into a gym and I didn't know what any of these machines were.
No, I'm saying like you don't know where they
Planet
are.
Fitness is like
There's
real
1,000 machines.
gym.
There's 1,000 machines though in there, so you have to figure out like your, what you want to do. But anyways, I do flies. I do delt flies for back, and then I don't do like a lot of isolated bicep stuff. It's mostly back. So like the cable, like on the Smith machine where you have the dual cables that you bring to your chest.
Yeah.
What are those called, Peter? Help me out here.
The rows?
Yeah.
The rows or the fly cables?
No, not the fly cables. I guess they would be the rows where you take them to your chest.
So doing a rowing, like a rowing motion with your arms.
Right. Doing pull downs and like making sure you kind of lean back and get that right there. So that's on the backs. And then also doing the machines that like single arm machines where you're pulling it up to get the back.
I just imagine you walking into the front desk and being like, "Oh, where's the back and buy section? That's what we're here for today." What is honest question? What is it like? I honestly can't fathom being in a gym right now. What is the scene?
Yeah,
like
what is it like?
It is like a typical gym. They've got more like people are super like everyone's spraying and wiping off machines. Like everyone's doing their job. I don't see anyone like not spraying a machine after they're done with it. And they've got like these separate like cleaning stations. Like who knows if it's actual cleaning solution, but at least everyone's spraying this liquid on there and wiping it off. But no one's wearing a mask. And it's just they've got a limit of how many people can be in there. And that's it.
What's the max that they let in that one? Do you know?
It's 200, but like they're not getting anywhere close to 200.
Because you just have to be like a total sicko to be going in a gym right now.
I can't believe that you're going to the gym, dude. It's blowing my mind.
I know.
What would you? Yeah.
Going to the gym. I mean, I thought when mine opened back up that I would be ready to go in, but I am not. Mine opened up on Monday, and I'm not ready.
All right. So here's a question. Would you rather go to a gym for a maximum of 30 minutes or...
Well, if I go to the gym, I'm going to the gym. Like, I'll be there for 2 hours.
Hang on. Finish your hypothetical. I think I know where you're going with this.
Or go to Vegas and play in a casino, even with a mask. So gym without a mask or Vegas in the casino with a mask.
Gym without a mask.
The answer is both are wrong.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I mean, it is notable that the gym is Planet Fitness. I think that's notable.
That's yeah. You're a certain type of clientele is going to be there for sure.
Is that $19.99 a month there too? I think that's
10.
What they are here. 10 a month. Wow.
I'm gonna go to the casino. If it's Planet Fitness, I have to go to. I'm going to the casino. If it is a higher class, like around here, Princeton Club is the high class facilities. That's what I would do the gym.
When I run out of body weight exercises I can do and online gambling no longer exists, maybe I can consider this hypothetical.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can substitute your addiction with the internet as far as gambling goes, but I guess maybe a home gym would be really nice right now.
Yeah, they're also really expensive. And also, like, we were talking about, like, Peloton. Like, the only thing I could do at home, like, props to Peter, right? Because he works out at home and
Pete doing a much better job than me.
In shape. I can't do it. I cannot do it. I need to be somewhere. We're just wired totally different. I need to be somewhere in order to get into, like, the workout zone. The only thing I might be able to do is Peloton. But it's not cheap, number one. And number two, you've got to wait now like 3 months for a Peloton. And so that's like, I'm not going to buy something that's not going to get here until like 3 months. I need like a instant thing that I can start doing. Just not the same. So anyways, Davis, when's the last time you like had a legit workout? Not a bit workout.
Yesterday.
What'd you do?
Skateboarded for like 2 hours.
I don't know if that's going to pass David's
that's
legit workout.
I don't think that's going to cut a legit workout.
I would guarantee I burned 4x calories skateboarding than whatever David did yesterday.
How many calories did you burn?
I'll check my watch.
Oh, you have a special skateboard caloric counter?
Did your skateboard lose a wheel or no?
You just have in your Apple Watch, it just measures your heart rate and it'll tell you.
So according yesterday, Dave was at a Planet Fitness.
430 calories per my phone.
430 calories for 2 hours?
Of active calories? I don't know how many passive.
That is terrible.
Slow exercise day.
Yeah, that's slow what are we calling that? Slow cardio?
Your body baseline will burn like 1,500, 1,700. So if you get 400, 500, 600 active calories, that'll get you to like
I'm
even
just saying,
for the day.
You're per hour. Having 400 for 2 hours is not good. You could do that walking. You could do more than that walking uphill for an hour.
You're not understanding what I'm saying.
No, I am.
Okay. Sure you are.
Yeah. It's like me saying when I go to grill, like when I grill, I'm always going up and down like the stairs and like constantly walking around and going to the garage and like never stopping. And like that would be exercise for you.
No.
Slow cardio barbecue day.
Yeah, slow cardio.
Like, why are you going into the garage? Oh, it's just part of the extra slow cardio.
Can't stop. All right.
Davis, what are the scene at the skate parks these days?
I've only been twice. There's like a middle school by my house that obviously no one's ever at, so I just go skateboard in the parking lot there. The scene at the skate park is no one's ever there because I go in like the middle of the day. I go at like 3:00.
Real life.
Good workout time.
All right.
I don't want to be in a public space where other people are right now.
I mean,
you feel me?
Makes sense.
So
it makes
Dave,
sense.
To put a button on this, is Planet Fitness for the indefinite future going to be your go-to, and how many times a week do you envision yourself going?
Yeah, at least 3 times a week. I'm not in there for longer than 30 minutes because I just want to get like I'm not doing any cardio, like any walking, any, whatever is going to be done.
Kitchen was about
outside.
to say running, and then he was like, I literally haven't ran since the first Clinton administration.
I was going to say cycling, but I don't have a bicycle, so it wouldn't have made sense. But my daughters have bicycles, and so I walk while they ride their bikes. Anyways, yeah, I don't stay in there too long, max 30 minutes, and then I'm out. But I have that's just my way. It's a risk reward type thing, and I gotta get back in the gym.
Honest question: does all of the spikes in some of the states in the South and also Arizona, does that give you any pause of like maybe the risk isn't worth the reward?
No.
It's just slightly worse malaria, bro.
It's like Tennessee has done an incredible job with testing, and as far as like the number of cases being up, it's because also the number of tests are up, and Tennessee is in the top percentage of tests given with low cases. So I think Tennessee is doing a great job, and honestly, as far as like the information,
I can't wait for this.
I'm literally praying it's gonna be good.
It's like it's paralysis by analysis.
Go on.
Every week we get new information that conflicts with old information, and it's to the point where I've stopped. I'm not saying this is the right thing.
Are you gonna say stop washing your hands?
No, I'm still like using common sense, right? Like if we just use common sense, but I've stopped like every report that's out there. I'm like, oh, cool. We found a cure. Oh, wait, that's not a cure. Oh, wait, we don't have to do that. Oh, wait, we do have to do this. It's just like I'm paralyzed to the point where.
Are you wearing a mask when you go into non-Planet Fitness places? That's a no. Kitchen, dude, what the hell?
Kitchen,
it's literally the least you can do, man.
Based on what Kitchen is saying, I feel like I do need to clarify. So when you are in the gym, you might see a thing of bleach. That isn't for consumption. That's actually used to help.
That's for the surfaces.
I just want to make sure you
Kitchen's bringing his needle in and injecting himself with it.
I mean, yeah, if one of us is going to get COVID-19, it's going to be me. I mean, I also went to Disney World right before everything kind of
No,
happened.
I think Tuttle would be a favorite because he interacts with more people.
Yep.
Yeah, that might be true. But I'm just to the point where I'm just trying to display common sense with washing hands and not like
common sense by not wearing a mask when literally everyone agrees you should just wear a mask.
There is truly no God if Tuttle as an essential worker gets COVID and Dave going to Dairy Queen without a mask.
Dairy Queen's not open.
I needed my Blizzard.
Dairy Queen is not open. The inside. Yeah, the drive-thru is open. Okay. But that's the thing. I get Instacart for my groceries. So like I'm not going into a lot of like public places where a lot of people are. And if I do have to make a quick run, then yeah, I'm just going in and coming back out. So I know.
Good luck, Dave.
Hey. Thanks. I'll let you guys know how it goes, how my summer goes. But right now,
you're blowing my mind, Dave.
Yeah, I know.
Just not wearing a mask, just all out. I mean, dude, whatever. I hope you're right. I hope your way of life is correct because that means our life is going to go back to normal.
What I think is actually nice is it just proves that Dave has kept a relationship with Big T ever since he left.
Yeah. So there's no conspiracies on my end. It's just a risk.
I don't think anyone's suggesting conspiracies here. I don't think any. No, I think we're just saying like maybe like, being caution is good.
No, I'm saying from my end, like I'm not saying that this is a hoax, right? I'm not saying that this all is something that is completely made up. I'm recognizing that it's real, but also recognizing that,
but like for other people, it's real.
Yeah, I mean, it's like real for everyone. But I'm not going around anyone that is like immunocompromised right now. So
can I get a pair of those goggles that allow you to know?
Do they wear like? They got a sign around
I'm
them
talking about people that
I'm
talking about people that I know. Listen, if you're in Walmart without a mask, then your day's coming anyway.
If you're in Walmart without a mask, you're probably David Kitchen. Is basically what we're saying here.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I hope you guys can one day experience the freedom that I experience when I go to the gas station and don't wear a mask.
I want it to. I want to go to the gym so bad.
Yeah,
you should. Yeah. Davis, you should.
Man, it just feels like what's the risk to reward ratio there? Seems unpleasant.
Do you want to?
Is it though? Is it though? Is it unpleasant for you when you go get in a car and drive somewhere?
No.
Okay. Like there's going to be risk to everything you do. You have to evaluate if that risk is worth it.
But like you have to drive cars to go places. I actually don't have to go inside public spaces without a mask right now. There's nothing forcing me to do that.
I don't have to either. It's a choice.
That's literally what you are so, you're not even understanding what you're saying, David.
Devin, can you change the title of this episode to How Swolecast Got COVID?
How one of us got COVID?
Peter, are you offended that I go into a place without
offended?
Like-
No. Do I think you're crazy? Yeah, but I'm not offended.
Yeah, I'm not offended.
Yeah.
You just guys can't understand. You can't understand it, basically.
I mean,
That is true. Your kitchen, that's actually great. I don't understand it. And that's probably on me. Because many people in the United States think like you think and do not think like I think.
Here's the thing, Davis. I've never smoked a cigarette.
Not me. Can't say the same.
When's the last time you smoked a cigarette?
It's been a while. But there was a long time where I was smoking
Right.
a lot.
And I can't understand people that smoke cigarettes, but I do recognize that they're out there. So
I mean, yep. You make a weird and convoluted point, which is
what
really your
saying,
brand.
Davis, is you're already immunocompromised. I think you should just get out there.
Say, like,
Kitchen's already torched.
my lungs are already permanently damaged.
If I was you with a long history of smoking, then yeah, I probably would not go anywhere. But look at me, a young, healthy male.
You're a solid 4.5.
Is that the health scale, or
So you gotta get to a 6. It is the risk reward for me is that it is more of a risk for me to be like mental state, everything else.
I mean, it is a risk right now to be unhealthy.
To be inside of the house,
yeah,
than to be getting out. And that's
legit.
Yeah,
like
I'm not saying this is a bit, legit or a bit. This is legit. If I will write you up 20-minute body weight exercises for your goal, if you'd like.
I just can't do body weight exercises. I just can't. I would rather go to a gym for 15 to 20 minutes.
I don't understand wanting to go to a gym for 15 to 21 minutes. I would understand if you were going in and getting in like a full on workout. I don't
because
understand
I get
why
like
you can't
walking in outside. I can't reproduce like.
You can't reproduce?
I can't reproduce. I can't reproduce like supersets, right? Like I can't reproduce just getting in and getting out and like doing actual exercises where it's like a max of 10 reps. Where I can do 6, 8, 10, something really basic. It's just a routine thing. So if in my county there's like a huge spike of cases, yeah, I won't do it. I am exercising some common sense. I do wash my hands. I do have hand sanitizer in the car. I do have mask and gloves in the car.
You just don't use them.
It's like a fire extinguisher.
Why have the mask in your car if you're not going to use it?
I was using it, and now it's just like no one's using a mask. And if I'm going around,
and you don't want to get singled out. You don't want people to make fun of you.
Dave, if you put that mask on, you're an 8.
And on that, we will close.
If you put that mask on, DC might send you a DM. You know what I mean?
This has been a good societal episode of the Swolecast. You guys kind of understanding what my Swole essence is, getting the inside look here of what's happening, and who knows? Maybe next week we'll get into you, Pete. We'll get inside of you to see what you have cooking up in there.
When's the last time Tuttle said something? Like 30 minutes ago?
I would just assume he's working on his line.
I'm just scrolling.
This is his only chance for scroll time.
He's using this
is my scroll time.
He's using
his time to scroll. All right, that will do it. Closing thoughts, Peter Davis.
Just stay safe out there, guys. Have fun. Get in the stock market. Love you guys.
Yeah, I'm just gonna echo. I'm gonna echo Peter there. Stay safe. Use your brains.
Right there with you.
Go to Dairy Queen. Go to Dairy Queen if you need to.
The only way you can counteract Dairy Queen is a 20-minute sesh at Planet Fitness. And they're right across the street from each other. Like both those are right across the street from each other, 2 miles away.
He's
from me
every time.
Yeah, of course. All right, that will do it. We'll see you next week. Peter, you got to save some jokes for next time.
Sorry.
See you next week on the Swolecast, guys.